What's poppin', y'all? Uzi's making the comeback. It is a comeback, but he never came down, so it's not a situation where he has to come back up. But it's been quite a while since we've seen Uzi on top, and he came back releasing several tracks. So he ended up getting out of his deal. He had been with Generation Now Atlantic for 10 years, and oddly enough, he was the first signee to the new, or signee, one of the first big artists to use Roc Nation distribution, which he's been managed by Roc Nation for a very, very long time now, at least the past 6 years, maybe going on 6 years, since we're getting close to 2026, maybe even probably 2019, because a lot of the issues that stemmed between him and Generation Now for the release of Eternal Atake. You guys remember when Futsal Shuffle was dropping and he was just very frustrated? Some people say that stemmed from the arguments and disagreements business-wise that his management, Roc Nation, had with Generation Now, and them trying to take him away from Generation Now and signing him directly to Roc Nation. So he's released 4 new songs underneath Core, which seems to be his new label. We're going to see how that develops. But of the 4 new songs, the latest one is the one that's doing the best, which is What You Saying, which is a sample. He uses a sample from this French artist. The first time I saw this song, or heard this song, saw and heard it, I was like, whoa, okay, this one's going to hit. And I've been talking about like these Uzi drops on X, and specifically for this one, I just felt like it was going to hit more because of the 4-pack that he dropped. I think the first one that I heard was Chanel Boy. I don't know if that's the first one that dropped, but he proceeded to release more and more. And for me to rank them in order of the ones that I like most to least, I wouldn't say I dislike any of them, but this is just the favorability rating, I guess. I would say like What You Saying is number 1, and then Relevant, Chanel Boy, and Regular. Chanel Boy and Relevant are really, really close to each other. I would say they're very close. Regular was my least favorite. I don't think it's a bad song, but I just don't think it holds up to those 3. But several days ago, we would see on December 27th, it would be announced that Lil Uzi Vert's What You Saying is currently the highest charting rap song on US Spotify, landing at number 29 overall. And I would quote tweet this and say, amazing song, prime Uzi. Not in terms of sound, but what we love Uzi for. And then I talk about like 20 Minutes, XO Tour Life, Just Wanna Rock. That's just off the top of my head. There are a bunch of other songs. And then I said all these sounded like nothing else, and this song is the same. With Uzi, it's always been the song sounds a bit weird, because when this song dropped, people were hating on it, especially like quote-unquote Uzi fans, like people that are diehard Uzi fans that have been listening to him for a lot, people that love His Rage too. And I think a lot of the reason why people think that, oh no, this isn't prime Uzi, is because it's just nostalgia is carrying them. Nostalgia. If Uzi dropped a track from that era exactly that's in the vault, people would say, this is whack, this doesn't hit like old Uzi. We know that for sure. And there's also been this frustration from Uzi fans that feel like he doesn't release the type of the best music that he has, and he just has poor choice, poor song selection, and a lot of the leaks end up being or performing better than some of the tracks that he's actually able to release. Not even earlier this year, just like closer to summertime, he had this song leak that was a snippet. I think it was a song leak, but it just ended up being a huge TikTok sound, and a lot of people were hoping that dropped. It didn't end up dropping. It was the song was Yo Boy, and it was a sample from a different, like an older hit song from the 2000s, I believe, and it just didn't end up dropping. It was a Spanish song, and I think maybe he wasn't able to clear the sample in time while it was going viral, or they just didn't want to clear the sample, the term, who knows. And he was probably going through a bunch of he was probably planning out these 4 drops, if you think about it. If we're talking several months ago, the amount of time it takes to make these music videos, to get all of these characters inside the music videos, and by characters I mean like Adriana Lima, you're getting like different fashion people to give their take on Uzi, you're putting together the video, the rollout, Out, all of that other stuff, that takes time. So that was probably going on while Uzi was doing this. But that's to say that on the 29th, we would get news that Uzi's song is aiming for top 25 debut on the Billboard Hot 100. And that's considering early projections, which is a beautiful thing, man. We needed Uzi back. Like, Cardi's just, it's always been Cardi Uzi stans, and I feel like it's more of a rivalry than it is like a stan war. But it's finally time for Uzi to take back the throne, right? Like, they co-run the new age of hip-hop. I mean, they came in at the same time. Uzi was above, like, far. He was light years ahead of Cardi, that is, commercially speaking, until things switched around. I would say post Whole Lotta Red. Some people will say it was post Die Lit when things started to change, but like EA was, it was another world. But one thing that I really like about Uzi coming back now is we get to see how he's going to handle the scene now. Like, the sounds have changed a lot, and Uzi's maintaining his identity, which is something that I love. Like, Uzi's fun, like dancing, and that's why when he was giving credit, because if you guys remember when Academics did that vlog with Lil Uzi Vert IRL, he would also give some things that Uzi was saying outside of the vlog, and one of those things was that Uzi was talking about how, like, nah, you know, like, I'm not the guy anymore. These new guys are the guy, like Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely. Hint, they are not the guy. Absolutely not. I mean, Cardi is still the guy. They're just, you know, they're not posse. I don't want to disrespect them like that because they've got, well, at least Destroy Lonely past that has some good music. I don't know what he's dropped this year. I haven't really listened to too much of it. But with Uzi, he's keeping his identity while still trying to progress things forward. Like, this song is unexpected. It is polarizing. It needs to be polarizing. So the fact that a bunch of people thought it was whack in the beginning, yet it still performed well is good. And I do think that they put more money behind this track than anything else. Because when you look at the music video and the fact that it's doing well, I need to see how this does in a couple of weeks. It is heavily TikTok dominant right now. And that's one thing that I've noticed with this in regards to music videos as well. It used to be that, if a music video is doing numbers, then you know the song is going crazy. But the direction that music has gone, especially TikTok dominant, this song, the clips of this song, it's almost like MTV. That's the best way I can put it. Like, a lot of music videos didn't generate income and they were used as promotional material to be put on MTV or on television and aired consistently. And then that's how people would discover the music, and then they would buy the music through that. But with music videos, you look at the views on this music video and it's got 2 million. And this is a great music video for a song that's number 25 on the Hot 100. You're like, yo, this doesn't really add up. And if you look at Addison Rae's song, the Diet Pepsi song, you look at the music video views for that in comparison to how big the song was. I mean, some people say a lot of it was radio play, but it did do very well. It did very well in streaming. And you're starting to see like this shift to where Spotify, well, it's not a shift. Spotify streams have always been more, for a long time, I would say, at least 7-8 years, have been more than the music video views. But the disparity between the music video for Uzi in this case, usually the visual does very well, at least front running, because people will replay the audio more often than not. But what I think is just happening is the music videos are just being spread everywhere. So different TikToks using them, different IG Reels using them. It's not really like that much of a thing. And the integration that Spotify has with TikTok is that people they go from TikTok, they add a song to Spotify, and then they're listening to it on there. And it seems like YouTube is kind of being left out of the picture, or it's being consumed less because you're not going directly from TikTok to YouTube. That's another video platform. They don't want you on there, and they don't got to deal with YouTube. So it's interesting seeing how the business side of things with these big companies works, where it's like TikTok and Spotify, I mean, music industry, TikTok is licensing from the record labels, and record labels own a percentage of Spotify because they allow Spotify to use their music. So they've got this ecosystem going on right now, and YouTube is kind of being left out of the ecosystem whilst they have their own, but the discoverability on TikTok is just incomparable at scale to the discoverability affordability on YouTube. Now, I think individually artists can do well and have done well on YouTube, but it's just I'm not going to find out about an artist on YouTube, and like YouTube is less of a social media than TikTok is. I think that's the best way to put it. And I'm going in a completely different direction right now, so it's probably time to end this right. I like the fact that Uzi is dropping again. I like the fact that he's having fun. I've been talking about this for at least the past year, or I've been saying this for 5+ years, but for the past year, I'm like, yo, Uzi's done all that there is to do, and I just want him to just drop music and not care what a lot of people have to say, and especially like people that are quote-unquote fans of his, and it seems like he's doing that, and I hope that it continues to work, because there's nothing more that I want to see than Uzi at the top of the game. Like, who's more of a humble superstar, right? Well, I don't know if Uzi's a superstar, but like we need an Uzi comeback, because we need an Uzi arena tour. That's what we need. I want to see that happen. I would actually go to that. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Where do you rank the 4 songs? I want to see your personal rankings. Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm going to see you on the next one.